Hi guys, I'm a 23-year-old climber out of Grafton, Wisconsin, and I am here to show you guys my climbing content. As you see, I'm posting about dry tooling, and dry tooling has been a super different type of climbing that I've never thought I would ever do. And I got to experience it in December 15th, 2024 with a few of my friends from Chicago, Illinois. And let me tell you, it was an amazing experience. And I will tell you, dry tooling is something that you don't see very often, and it's up and coming. And dry tooling can be indoor or outdoor. And then there's also ice climbing that is only outdoor. And the reason why I'm posting about this is because it was a competition and I had a lot of fun here. We met a lot of cool people from different places. I even met some of the pro ice climbers on the youth circuit, and it was super cool to see them. And it was only like three or four of them, but still, you never know when you're going to run into some professionals, and it's really cool to see them up and close. So let me tell you a little bit more about dry tooling. Dry tooling is a climbing style that uses a helmet, two tools, and in this case, we just use our climbing shoes. Regularly, it would use the helmet, the two tools, which look like axes, and approach shoes that have crampons on it, or boots that have crampons on it. And for us at this competition, we were allowed to just use our regular shoes as we were climbing indoors. Indoors, you don't need to climb unless there's like you don't need to climb with crampons if you have plastic rocks, because you don't want to ruin those, right? So as you go into more in the video, I will talk about my experience, and I'll kind of express more of how I felt during the competition, how my friends did, and it's more of just how the competition went and how I'm learning to climb and become a unique climber in itself. And I just want to thank you guys ahead of time for watching my video if you do, but I hope you guys enjoy. So starting off, yes, this is the Pfizer Forum. The gym is located right across from the Pfizer, and it is a very beautiful gym. It is smaller than most gyms. It is the longest reigning gym in America, so it is really cool to experience a little piece of history there in climbing. If you guys ever want to experience the longest reigning gym in America, there it is. So dry tooling, I could tell you a million different things about it. In this case scenario, dry tooling, as I said in the intro, has two axes and you have to wear a helmet. In this case, we're using our climbing shoes and not crampons. So, my friend Sohan here, we all started dry tooling at the same time. This was our first time ever dry tooling. It was in a competition. It was crazy. So, I went with a group of four. It was including me, Sohan, as you see climbing, Eliza, and Jeremy. We all met at competitions, and I'm so thankful that they came and did the experience with me. For us, it was so nerve-wracking because we were generally just regular boulder and rope climbers. I'm mainly a boulder person, and I know that Eliza and Sohan are all around, and so is Jeremy as well. And the biggest thing that we noticed when we were doing dry tooling was obviously the movements.
I think she's next. So
aren't too complicated for the intro routes, you know, but as you go into it, we do see like some weird things you have to do with your tools, and you have to be very okay with the tools, like going to put the tool in your mouth, putting it on your shoulder, matching hands on your tool and making sure they're in the right position. There's so many different things, and I will get into that later in the video. But I never thought that I'd do this, like I said in the intro too. But this sport is so evolving and is always going to be, and it's crazy. And here you see Jeremy and Sohan and me are doing the same climb, and Eliza did this climb too. But it was super fun. Just the whole sport in itself is just different, so many unique characteristics, and you just don't know what's gonna happen in the sport because everything's a mystery until you get in it. And when you get to it, it's just gonna be so much fun. Whether you are new to climbing or you're an experienced Burn of Dreams climber, you know what I mean? And for you guys that know climbing, like this stuff is hard. and we all know it. And it's hard to even show up, and especially for a competition. There's so many people scared to do it because they're afraid to waste their money, or they don't know if they're ready yet. And you know, that's perfectly fine. For me, I kind of threw myself in there. You know, I didn't know how I was gonna do, and I just threw all my money on the table, and you know, I started doing comps religiously, and I fell in love with this, just the comp style format, meeting so many people and making friends. And like here, like in this dry tooling competition, I met so many people and in my area that I never met before just because of dry tooling, and now I know them and I see them at my home gym. But getting back to the content here, this is Jeremy climbing. There's a lot of cool things in dry tooling. They can add chains, they can add different things, and Turner's added a very cool, complex, like not super complex, but things that you wouldn't see in regular dry tooling, where they would make their own holds. And obviously people have to make their own holds for climbing, but they would add metal pieces, they would use bike chains, locks, anything that you can find a nook or a cranny in, because the tools that we use have a very sharp point. And I wish I had an example, and I don't on me right now, but the tools are literally just little pickaxes that have like little ridges and stuff, so you can grip and get into the grooves of things. And there's a lot of different techniques. There's steining, there is just like outside grasp, there's different hand positions, so there's first, second, third, and you have to learn, you know. And obviously we learned how to do it a little bit. They did like an intro to they did an intro for us new climbers to dry tooling, so we would be safe. And as you see too, most of the holds, if not all holds, are being placarded by some plywood or something, so we know which holds we're doing, and also they're taped off so we know what's part of what route. And it's super cool how we can be dynamic and static at the same time. There's a different abundance of skill levels and stuff like that, and all of this was top rope too, so you'd obviously have to have somebody catch you in ropes, so it would be safer, obviously. And top rope in this scenario is very safe, and you can do lead, but that was only for the finalists, because lead obviously is probably the hardest rope climbing that you could do. It is the most intense and is the most, say, risky, because of just clipping in, and also you're not necessarily tethered as you are in top rope. But in this type of climbing, I really found it to be fun, just to be like adventurous. Like literally you feel like you're climbing a mountain sometimes, because you're using these tools that you never thought you would use in climbing or in just life, and you're wearing a helmet, and you know, it's crazy. And like Eliza, I remember Eliza saying that she was super thankful, and we were all hooked by the end of the day. And this is Eliza here, and she did really well, honestly. In the whole beginners category, she won her division. She is an amazing climber. All of me, Jeremy, Sohan, and Eliza were all great climbers, but Eliza shined above all of us that day.
Keep tight with your right hand.
She was in the smaller person division. I don't remember what bird we were saying that that the division was, as the divisions were categorized in birds. I just remember I was a penguin. I'm gonna go on a limb and think she was in the finch category. She took second, but overall she took second in the beginners category. There was 3 different categories, and in the beginners and in the advanced open division. So Eliza did really great that day. I think overall I took 4th, and then Sohan took 5th. I took first in my division, he took second, and then Jeremy, I think we didn't tally his score right, but he should have been up there. But it was really great. It was really great, and it was really fun. And the things that we don't realize about some of this content is that we don't ever take the chance.
Get cooking
and
there. Come on.
Sort of what I'm going to be talking about more is just taking the chance.
This is why I
you
wanna
know,
use a
whether
watch.
it's taking the chance to reach up for a move, or taking the chance to step up and be a leader, or just anything in life. And climbing, is all about risk, next move and how you go forward and how you can progress is very important. And as we look at it, like, dry tooling was a really big risk for the four of us that went, because obviously we've never done it, first off. Second off, there's sharp tools in our hands, and we got to put it on our shoulder, and we got to put it in our mouth sometimes, and we have to figure four and do all these crazy things. And it was just unique. And as we look at life, everything's going to be unique, and it's going to be crazy in how we do things and how we replicate things, and whether we choose to do it or not. But that's how we live life. Like I said, the results earlier, but me and Sohan, we were top 2 in our division. Eliza was number 2 in her division and second overall in the whole entire division. But we were all really grateful to try the finals route. I didn't get any video of Eliza doing it, but this is me, Jeremy, and Sohan doing it. And the finals route, this is just the beginning, and it stretched so long, and they only had 4 minutes to do it, and this was just the start, and it was like you had to figure four, and it was crazy. And if you don't know what a figure four is, there's plenty of videos you can watch online on YouTube, and here's me and my variation of trying it, and literally I just have a massive fail in the beginning. And honestly, it's good because I needed to be humbled a little bit, because I was like, I won my division. But it's super fun, and learning is all about climbing too, and whether you believe learning is about climbing, like, think about it, learning is everything in life, and we learned that day, and we had so much fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have a great time. And thank you guys so much for supporting me and my content.